Amazing.
We've done a good deed, Jack.
Really good work.
Ow!
Well, let's talk drone. How did you feel when I crashed it?
I believe I laughed when you crashed it.
You must have been pretty disappointed because it was maybe 10 days old.
Yeah, I wasn't very old and it was very expensive.
It was my Christmas present.
You're on the Phantom 2 for the maiden flight. It's good weather, slightly cold.
What kind of skill level did you expect from my flying skills given my past?
I didn't expect great skills.
My history of flying hasn't been perfect. I once had a remote control helicopter that I managed to crash 3 or 4 times directly into the ground. So you had a pretty high expectation? No, like pretty pilot friendly, let's call it.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the easiest one to fly on the market.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not disappointed. I'm not surprised either. I don't know. I just would have been happier if it could withstand a bit more punishment. It didn't fall that far. I'm not surprised. Of course, I'm not surprised. I crashed it. It broke.
The gimbal is still not working, so there's some connections missing somewhere. So our biggest mission at the moment is trying to get that fixed. We are at Houston, about to take the train to Manchester.
We're going to Manchester. What else are we doing?
That's it.
No, we're going to fix the drone.
Immediately after the crash, I thought it's not too bad. There's some broken propellers and the battery's still there. It looks okay. The light's still flashing okay.
So the legs were broken, the propellers were pretty much unusable, and then there were just bits that were kind of hanging off it. And worst of all, the gimbal
wasn't working at all. As in, normally it kind of moves around and
stabilizes the camera.
Exactly. Fortunately, the cost of gimbal is pretty much half the price of the cost of a drone. So it's pretty important we try and fix it.
I actually think the bit that's broken is up here. It's attached by those metal things on the side.
They've broken off.
Yeah. So this weekend we took it up to Manchester for Jack's dad to have a look and see if any of the connections can be fixed.
So before we fix the drone, we're going to show the crash.
It went straight up. I wanted to just go up, spin around, look at the landscape. It's cool in the centre of Prague, and then back down again because it's quite windy. That's all I wanted. What I later realised was that I hadn't done any of the basic training, and actually I'd only really ever flown it up and down. I went up and we got a bit of wind and started drifting, and of course you've got to bring it back, and then it was drifting all over the place, and then it went quite far one way.
Our mistake there was starting it off on a really small ledge on a really snowy and windy day. So, as you can probably foresee at this point, at some point we just lost control of it and we hadn't calibrated the GPS, so we couldn't return it to home. And it just started blowing around in the wind and...
So in my head there's like this kind of triangle with an exclamation mark going danger, danger,
Did we
danger.
And then it just crashed against the side of a hotel, a really fancy one at that.
So we weren't very well prepared for it, and it felt like a long time that we were battling for the controls at the time. In reality, when you watch the video back, it happened really, really quickly. But there is a key lesson that we did take away from this about flying a drone, which is that if it doesn't feel right, and if all the factors don't add up to it being what you think is going to be a good flight, just walk away. There's no harm in not getting the shot sometimes.
Trust your instinct, or trust the weather.
Point lesson number 2 from this entire story. Well, lesson 1 for now. Let's call it lesson 2. Always check what your insurance covers. If you buy camera insurance, it probably doesn't cover the drone.
Yeah, lesson number 3. When
Don't be surprised when it crashes and breaks.
When something crashes, it's gonna break.